All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Rakakadash, the Barner City Apostles and the Elders of Great Millstone. Salutation to you, Akim, pushing this word with true sincerity, with charity, presenting your bodies as a living sacrifice. We who are ready to live salute you. I just want to go into a quick lesson. I'll be going through the Isaiah, the 5th chapter, 1 through 7. Okay. So let's just get right into it. It's Isaiah 5 and 1. Now I will sing to my well-beloved a song of my beloved touching his vineyard. My beloved have a vine, Salaki. My beloved have a vineyard and a very fruitful field. Okay. And we're in the time that where we're doing that. Hold on, let me do this. All right. We're singing onto that vineyard, man. All right, we're singing onto the Lord's planting. Matter of fact, let me grab a particular one, Isaiah 27, 1. Isaiah 27, right. Excuse me. Okay. Yeah. This is Isaiah 27 and 2. In that day sing ye unto her a vineyard of red wine. Right? So we're singing onto that vineyard, man. We're singing onto the Lord's vineyard, which are basically the elect. All right. And what are we singing, man? Only. All right. Bear with me. All right. Yeah, this is Revelations 14. Revelations 14 and 3. And they sung as it were a new song before the throne and before the four beasts and the elders, and no man could learn that song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth. All right. So that's a song that we're singing. That song, excuse me, that's the song that we're singing. All right. And that song being that song being this doctrine, man, this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that we've been given through the Spirit, man. Right. This is Revelations 14 and 3, and they sung as it were a new song before the throne and before the four beasts and the elders, and no man could learn that song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth. Okay. So that's that. So we're singing that song unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushai's vineyard, man. Let me go back into it. Um, um, all right, 5:2 is Isaiah 5:2. And he fenced it and gathered out the stones thereof and planted it with the choicest vine and built a tower in the midst of it and also made a winepress wherein. And he looked that it should bring forth grapes, and it brought forth wild grapes, you know. And the Lord gave us what we needed, to structure the perfect government, so to speak. The only true, or nearly perfect government. That government would be perfected in the kingdom. But it was nearly perfect. The law was perfect. We just weren't. We were fallible, so to speak. Okay. But the Lord created the perfect blueprints to run the kingdom. All right. And he put the choice seed, he gave it to that choice seed, and planted us in that choice place, which was Jerusalem, man, the land of Israel. Okay. And now, O inhabitants of Jerusalem and men of Judah, judge, I pray you, betwixt me and my vineyard. What could have been done more to my vineyard that I have not done in it? So, what more could have been given? Now, when you look back and you go into this history, you really have to ask that question. What more could have been given? What more could have been given, man? All right, we had it all, man. We were the girl with all the gifts, the nation of Israel. All right, King Solomon's kingdom was the greatest kingdom to ever exist. All right. Wherefore, when I looked that it should bring forth grapes, brought it forth wild grapes. So we were given the structure. We were pruned. We were digged, so to speak. We were cultivated correctly. But we still came out crazy as all hell. All right. Out of order. All right. And now I will tell you what I will do to my vineyard. I will take away the hedge thereof, and it shall be eaten up, and break down the wall thereof, and it shall be trodden down. All right. And that's going to happen again. All right. Let me grab another one. I'll come back to that. All right. This is Ezekiel 17:1. And the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, put forth a riddle, and speak a parable unto the house of Israel. And say, Thus saith Yahweh power, a great eagle with great wings, long winged, full of feathers, which had diverse colors, came unto Lebanon, and took the highest branch of the cedar, right? And that's the nation of Israel, all right? Okay. All right. The nation of Israel. The highest branch of the cedar, the most important tree in the forest. All right. He cropped off the top of his young twigs and carried it into a land of traffic, right? And when you go into that word traffic here, it basically means commerce, all right, and basically a place of buying and selling, all right. He set it in a city of merchants, right? This is that merchant city, Babylon the Great, all right. He took also the seed of the land and planted it in a fruitful field, right? Because this place, America, was actually very fruitful, very fertile place. and it was the land of the northern kingdom, you know. All right. And what does Ephraim mean? All right. I am fruitful. He is fruitful, man. I am fruitful. He's fruitful. This is a fruitful field. Okay. He placed it by great waters and set it as a willow tree. All right. Okay. You know, he placed it by great waters and set it as a willow tree. And it grew and became a spreading vine of low stature. Right. A spreading vine of low stature, meaning we became many, but we were in a low condition, whose branches turned towards him. Right. We had to go to him, which is Esau Edom, which he is that eagle. All right. He represents that eagle that brought us into this land, those eagles. All right. We have to come to him for the one of all things, as the scripture says in the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, whose branches turn toward him, right? And also, the scripture says, all whose name is not written in the book of life will marvel after the beast. They're basically going to worship the beast, man. So they're turning towards him for necessities, and they're giving their reverence, all right? And the roots thereof were under him. So it became a vine and brought forth branches and shot forth sprigs. There was also another great eagle with great wings. This also represents Esau, and many feathers. And behold, this vine did bend her roots towards him, and shot forth her branches towards him, that he might water it by the furrows of her plantation. See, now we're being, as the scripture says, we're being fed by the face of the serpent. We are depending on him for our necessities, because he basically stole everything. He has everything, so we got to go to him for one of all things. All right, so we're being watered by him, right? It was planted in a good soil by great waters, but that it might bring forth branches, and that it might bear fruit, that it might be a goodly vine. Say thou, thus saith Yahweh power, shall it prosper? Shall he not pull up the roots thereof? And that's what's about to happen to our people, man. They're about to be uprooted, okay? Cut off, cut down. Because Esau is the sword of the Lord, and the Lord's going to use him in these last days in Jacob's trouble to cut down the wicked of our people, all right? And to cut off the fruit thereof, that it wither, it shall wither in all the leaves of the spring, even without great power or many people to pluck it up by the roots. So it ain't gonna take much for Esau Edom to shut you down, to cut you off, and to knock you off, especially with this new system that's coming in. All right, at a push of a button, Esau will be able to cut off your food, man. Behold, being planted, shall it prosper? Shall it not utterly wither when the east wind toucheth it? Right. So that wind is gonna come. It's gonna knock you niggas down, man. It's gonna blow you away. It shall wither in the furrows where it grew. All right. So yeah. Excuse me. Let me go back to it. I think I'll start back at 4. Isaiah 5:4. What could I have done more to my vineyard that I have not done in it? Wherefore, when I looked that it should bring forth grapes, brought it forth wild grapes. And now go to, I will tell you what I will do to my vineyard. I will take away the hedge thereof. So the Lord's going to take away the hedge, man. As the scripture says, I will send him against a hypocritical nation, man, and give them a charge to take the spoil and to tread them down as the mire of the streets, roughly paraphrasing that scripture, man. So he's going to take away his protection from you niggas, from you Latino, from all you 12 tribes, man. And he's going to sick the sword of his sword on you, man, which is Esau Edom. Okay, and it shall be eaten up, and break down the wall thereof, and it shall be trodden down, and I will lay it waste. It shall not be pruned nor digged, but there shall come up briars and thorns. I will also command the clouds that they rain no rain upon it, right? That you won't get this understanding, that you may be delivered, right? Okay. For the vineyard of Yahweh, power of hosts, is the house of Israel, and the men of Judah his pleasant plant. And he looked for judgment, but behold oppression, for righteousness, but behold a cry. And nobody oppresses Jake on a ground level more than Jake. Okay. Hey man, the scripture says the poor man that oppresses the poor is like a sweeping rain, man. Jake devours Jake. You're both poor, but you devouring your own people. You know, you in the ghettos oppressing your own people, and you both ain't got shit. That's a piece of shit, man. you know, but the Lord's gonna do away with 2/3 of our people, man. And that's something we have to keep in mind. You know, all right. So this is just me wanting to go through a couple chapters, man. Give the sense thereof. Nothing too spectacular. And yeah, that's about it. So hopefully there was some edification within this. With that, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushua, Bashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutation to you, I can push in this word with true sincerity, with charity, presenting your bodies as a living sacrifice. We are ready to live. Salute you. Shalom in the Bible.